Guys, Cara Veritas Decora did something. Okay, listen, something was done and I am all about it. She took an apple and then there was a snake in the thing and then he whispered and boom, we have this foundation. Hey there guys, it's Tina and I'm back, but I wasn't ready. I was not ready, okay? I wasn't ready for any of this. I don't know where it came from. It took me by surprise. All right. You already know from the title that we are talking about the new Kat Von D. No, it's not Kat Von. The new KVD Vegan Beauty Good Apple Skin Perfecting Foundation Balm. That's what we're talking about today. This has been making its rounds on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, so this is just secondhand information from Instagram and from Twitter because I don't keep up with the kids, child. Ooh, child, I am almost 40. I ain't got time for it. But apparently, this foundation has been making its rounds and a lot of people are talking about it. And I am here to review it for you guys because that is what I do, okay? So we're testing out this foundation. I'm going to do a wear test, the demo, the whole situation. We're gonna walk you through and then I'm gonna give my final thoughts at the end of the video. So I'm gonna start out with, of course, the product information and all those details. Then we'll jump into the demo and then I'll give my wrap up at the end. So I will leave timestamps down below in case you want to jump around and navigate this video. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into what this foundation is all about. So this is the new KVD Beauty Good Apple Skin Perfecting Hydrating Foundation Balm. It retails for $38 and contains 10 grams of product or 0.35 ounce, which is actually a pretty decent amount for a cream foundation and for a foundation balm. Of course, you can find others on the market that have way more product in them and then some that have less, but cream foundations and stick foundations tend to have less than a half an ounce of product in them. So this one I'm going to give a pretty decent mark for the amount of product that is included. And we have 40 shades available. So you have a ton of shades to choose from. And KVD Beauty has always done a great job of creating a pretty diverse skin tone range, which I appreciate. Even in their other foundations and their concealer, they have a pretty good foundation range. There aren't a lot of really deep shades in this collection, or so I thought, until I went in store and I thought my shade was gonna be somewhere in the 70s. So the shades start at like light 002 and Kat Von D. Keep calling her Kat Von D. Oh my god, her. So KVD Beauty tends to go pretty light. So even the fairest of skin tones have said they found their shade match in the foundation range. So that is always good to know. Then it moves on to mediums and tans. And then it goes into deep shades. Now I thought I was gonna be closer to the end of the tan range or even one of the first deep shades. It turns out that my best two matches are Tan 066 and Tan 074, which are kind of almost midway in the range. So I like seeing that because that means there are richer tones after me, and the shades on the website actually look a lot lighter than they are in person. So I thought my match was for sure gonna be 74. When I saw it in store, I was like, ooh, that's a little bit too deep. And it is a little bit too deep, but it's still pretty close to my skin tone. And as the weather warms up and we get into summer, maybe I'll get more sun because my doctor did tell me I need to get more vitamin D. Yes. Both ways. So I can get more vitamin D, I can get more of a tan to my skin, and the 74 shade would work best on me. So I will show you both shades swatched, but I'm just saying right now on my skin, I have 74 on this side and 66 on this side. You can't really tell, can you? So that's what I'm saying by the two shades don't really translate as really different on my skin tone, but the 74 is definitely a little bit too dark on this side because my neck is still a little bit lighter. So I will go between the two shades and you can mix them. That's the great thing. So the formulation is very lightweight, so you are actually able to mix, you're able to layer it, and you can even use some of the shades for contour contouring and highlighting, which I actually think I'm going to do. So it's a very lightweight formula. Let's go into the actual details of the product. So it says here, this is a buildable, full coverage hydrating foundation balm with a lightweight, long-wear formula and a fresh matte finish in fully recyclable packaging. It also says infused with skin nourishing apple extract, this non-comedogenic foundation balm minimizes the appearance of pores and gives skin a smooth, healthy look. The non-cakey, flashback-free formula quickly covers blemishes and discoloration for a speedy confidence boost. Good to your skin and the planet, this product comes in an innovative compact that's fully recyclable with no mirror, magnets, or metal. And I actually really love that. So the highlighted ingredients are apple extract, which nourishes skin, and sodium hyaluronate, which hydrates skin. And again, it's a full coverage foundation, matte finish, and the formulation is a creamy balm. It also says here that you can use a beauty sponge or a dense foundation brush to apply this, use a patting motion to create the fullest coverage, and you can use your finger to spot conceal. And for oily skin, oily areas, set the foundation with a setting powder. They of course recommend their Lock It setting powder, but any setting powder that you have in your collection will do. And it says recycle the box with paper goods, and then once empty, recycle the compact with plastics where appropriate recycling facilities exist. So I love that about the packaging. So let's just talk about the packaging really quickly. The box that it comes in is a black box, and it has a little cutout of an apple, which I think is so cute. The apple, you can actually see the shade that's inside the box, but the shade name is at the top as well. And then on the back you have the ingredients and all the details of the product. And the expected usage life for this product is 12 months, and it is also a vegan product, so that is a great thing. Now the actual compact itself is clear as indicated, and it has the typical tattoo inspired designs. It's really pretty. I think it's a really simple packaging, but it's still effective. You know, it still looks luxurious. It is not lightweight either. It doesn't feel flimsy at all. And it has a clasp closure, so there is no magnet included. And as mentioned, there is no mirror, so fully recyclable. And there's also no metal pen, so this foundation is poured directly into the compact. And on the bottom, you have a black and white label with the product information. So you have the shade, number, the sizing, and manufacturing details. And of course, you have the little KVD logo on the front that I forgot to mention. But I really like this packaging. I love that it is fully recyclable. There is not even a metal hinge in the compact, which I adore. So I love that this is more environmentally friendly, but I understand that a lot of people might be missing the mirror. A lot of people are like, oh, I love having a mirror. Why? You have so many mirrors around that you can use. If you're using this on the go, you probably have a travel mirror, or you can toss one in your bag. It's not a big deal to not have a mirror in order to make packaging more recyclable. Like, we have to start being a little bit more conscious and have a little leeway when it comes to our packaging. You do not need a mirror in everything. I have so many mirrors alone in this room. Do you need more than one mirror? I don't think so. So I think the packaging is innovative, and I hope more brands follow along in making their packaging a lot more recyclable. All right, I have yapped, I have chatted. Let's go ahead and show you the swatches of the two shades that I picked up. So like I said, I picked up Tan 66, which is for medium to tan skin with neutral undertones. And I also have Tan 74, which is for tan to deep skin with neutral golden undertones. And I lean a little bit more neutral, so I tend to stick to shades that are neutral and maybe slightly golden, but I stay away from cool tone undertones. So I will swatch the two shades next to each other, and like I said, they are very similar, and because it's such a lightweight formulation, it blends in really beautifully with my skin without showing that there's an obvious difference, and you can mix the two shades, and I think they work beautifully on my skin tone. So let's go ahead now and jump into the demonstration, and then we'll wrap up with my final thoughts at the end. Alright, so for this demo and wear test, I want to apply this foundation in a couple of ways. So the first one is over bare skin. So on this side of my face, I have no moisturizer, no primer, nothing. This is completely bare skin. And then on this side, I am only wearing a light layer of moisturizer that has had about 30 minutes to sink in. So my skin is not tacky. I'm not wearing primer anywhere, just moisturizer on one half and no moisturizer on the other. The next thing I want to do is go in with a brush versus a sponge. So we're gonna apply this in two ways. So first, let's go through what my skin looks like up close so you can get a before, and then we'll do the after. So I have some unevenness over my skin. I even have a little breakout mark here, so we'll see if it covers that. That's a good indicator actually. So I have hyperpigmentation around my mouth. I have some discoloration, but other than that, I don't have really problematic skin. I do have enlarged pores around my nose area and around my cheek area, and I have combination oily skin, but it is mainly oily. I get oily mostly in the T-zone area, but it's still oily all over. So I tend to lean to more oily skin rather than combination. So here's the foundation. The shade we are using is Tan 066. And let's come in so you can see the application. So I'll go in with the brush first. This is a brush from Anissa Beauty, and I'm just going to apply that directly to my skin. Oh, that is actually a pretty decent shade match. This shade is recommended for medium to tan skin with neutral undertones. Again, I go for more neutral undertones rather than golden because I find that golden can look very orange on my skin. Oh my god, look at that. The coverage? That is fantastic. Is it medium buildable coverage or does it indicate full coverage? Again, I don't read... Oh wow, I don't read the description of products and what the claims are beforehand because I want to have my first impression without anticipating based on what I read. That coverage is wow, that is beautiful. I would say this is a medium to full coverage, and I don't feel it. It really feels lightweight. It's as if I'm wearing nothing. And it glides on pretty nicely with the brush. As you could probably see, like, it's just gliding. And I mean, it has to do a little with the brush as well, but like no tugging. No, wow. Okay. That is stunning. I think it looks amazing. I mean, do you guys see that? I mean, it looks flawless. Come on. This looks, look at this side. Oh, no. Look, oh, it looks like butter. I'm not even gonna look at it up close just yet. I'm gonna go in with the sponge now. So I'm just gonna pick it up directly from the pan on the sponge. This is an e.l.f. sponge. It's their marshmallow sponge that came out for holiday. I think it was in October. I don't know if they have it anymore. I don't think they have it anymore. But any sponge you're comfortable with, and I'm just tapping this over my skin, and my sponge is almost completely dry. It's just barely damp because I wring it out in a washcloth to make sure that I remove the majority of the water from it. I had a little bit of a dark mark there and it covered it up so well. Oh wow. Okay, let's kind of use it as a concealer up under the eyes. Let me go up on my nose with this. Oh my god, it's given me a similar coverage to this brush side, and it's going on so easily. There are no streaks. It's just, let me find out that Cara Delevingne Vegan Beauty is out here coming through with the good. Ma'am. Oh yes, babe, look at that. I mean, come on, look at that. I am amazed right now. I am amazed. So the sponge side, it was also very easy. I don't typically apply my foundation with a sponge. I just can't be bothered. I prefer to use a brush. Just the sensation is better for me with a brush. But I'm getting the same kind of coverage. It didn't shear out. This looks amazing. Now for the up close, let's see. Oh my god, this looks flawless. I look porcelain. I look blurred. I look filtered. Pardon me, okay? Pardon me, but look at this. Can you guys see how flawless this looks? Like, Everything is beautiful on my skin. I will say that up close though, I can tell I'm wearing makeup. Like you can tell I'm definitely wearing makeup, but it doesn't look thick or cakey. It just looks amazing. Wow. As far as on moisturized skin versus bare skin, I think it applied the same. I didn't have any issues with tugging or anything on the non-moisturized side. So I will see how they wear on each side, but this is amazing. This is beautiful, okay? This is beautiful. I have a concealer to apply as well. So 2 girls, 1 cup. If you don't get that reference, I'm sorry. You're too young for me. So I'm just gonna apply this concealer under my eyes. It's a new concealer that I'm trying out. This is from Clinique. It is their Even Better All Over Concealer. The shade I have is WN94 Deep Neutral. And I'll just blend that out under my eyes using another Anissa Beauty brush. I'm going to set under my eyes though, because my under eyes will crease and that has nothing to do with the foundation. I'm not gonna set the rest of my skin though. And I'm just gonna use my Urban Decay powder for this because why not? And the sponge just to get right under my eyes so that concealer does not crease. And that, ooh, wait, that is gonna look a little bit funny up against the foundation because it's set and then the foundation isn't. So I'll just go around the edges just to blend and buff everything so it doesn't look as obvious. It still looks a little bit obvious, but here you go. I'm gonna pop in the before and afters now so you can see what my skin looks like. So remember, on the left side, my skin is moisturized and we apply the foundation with a brush. And then on the right side, we are going in over bare skin with a sponge application. Alright, so I actually got a second shade of this because I wanted to try to use it as a bronzer type product. So we have Tan 74, and Tan 74 is for tan to deep skin with neutral golden undertones, which I actually thought would be my skin tone match. This is another Anissa Beauty brush. You would think I am sponsored by them for this video. I am not. I thought this would be my skin tone match. And it's very close. I feel like in the summertime, this would be a good match for me. But right now, I'm just using it as kind of a light cream bronzer. And this product is very lightweight, so it does feel very nice on my skin. It doesn't feel heavy. And I'm just pouncing that in the hollows of my cheeks and my temple area. And I think that is great. Oh, let me buff out under here. That looks a little bit too dark, but look at that. So I actually think the Tan 74 shade might work out for me, right, in the summer, because it doesn't look that different from my skin. It's just giving me a little bit of dimension. So here you go with the Tan 74 kind of added in, and I think that gives me great dimension because it is more of a full coverage from what I can tell, so I need it to look a little bit more seamless along my hairline. So here you have it. Let's come in a little bit closer so you can see. So here it is a little bit more up close. You can see that I am wearing makeup, right? I am wearing foundation, and it has a nice finish to the skin. It doesn't look matte, it looks skin-like, but you can tell that I am wearing makeup. So right now we'll do a time check. It is 1:15. I'm gonna finish up the rest of this makeup. Again, I'm not gonna set my skin, I'm not gonna apply powder. I don't even think I'm gonna apply any blush type products. I might, but I'm thinking I might not. And then we'll come back and do a little bit of a check-in, and we'll even do a check-in outside in natural light. So again, here we have it. Let's go ahead and jump into the check-ins. All right, guys, a quick check-in. It is almost 2 hours later, so it is 3:07. I was filming another video, and I wanted to just show you guys what this foundation looks like now. I haven't applied any powder or anything, but I have been getting transfer non-stop on my hands, and I've just been getting it everywhere. So I definitely think this foundation needs to be set. I'm going to go outside and show you guys what it looks like in natural daylight, but I thought I'd give you that quick update before we head out. Here's what it looks like now. I think it looks so beautiful. My oils have come out a little bit. Everything is melding together really well. What do you guys think? I really like it. So here you have it, guys, the foundation in natural daylight. I didn't want to stand directly in the sun because it was just looking too gorgeous. So I came inside the car to show you what it looks like. So you see, it definitely does look like foundation on my skin. It's not as pretty in natural daylight as I thought. I was like, ooh, yeah, texture and all. Look at that. Oh, this is not looking pretty at all, but it looks pretty inside. So maybe this is a nighttime foundation, or I need to use a pore filling primer, or I need to set it with powder, because right now it looks okay. It doesn't look bad. Like, it doesn't look too greasy or anything, but it looks definitely much better inside in studio lighting. But right now, I look a little, right? But it's still beautiful coverage. The finish is nice, but I can tell I am wearing makeup. You know what I mean? Like, you can see it on my skin. So, not the most beautiful in natural daylight. So, there you have it. Alright guys, so we are back for the final check-in because I don't think I need to wear this any longer. So it is 7:20, which means we've had this on for roughly 6 hours now. And I am done. Okay, so I have definitely gotten oily. You can see the glow on my skin, right? That is not glow, that is oil. And the foundation itself has not broken up. It still looks like I'm wearing foundation, definitely, but it hasn't broken up or separated, which is a good sign, which is why I'm just going to end the wear test here, because you can tell, it didn't break, it's fine, but you can tell, let me come up close in your space, so you can see that the foundation and the oils are mixing well, right? I have no settling in my smile lines no settling in the smile lines. Around my nose is a little greasy, you know, a little grease. In the forehead, like, there's no settling in my lines. And around my mouth, just here and here, it looks a little bit, like it's settling into those lines. But that's it. And I even have sweat popping up. You see that? Child! But the foundation is still holding up. Like, it's like, girl, we ain't going nowhere. We're holding on. We are here to support you. And I think that's a good enough test. What I would usually do about 4 hours in, or when I get to this point, is blot my skin. And I blot with tissue paper, napkins, paper towel, whatever, right? So I would blot. Oh, child! And then go from there. Usually just blotting. Yeah, that got rid of a lot of oil, but also some foundation. So like I said, there is definite transfer. But now my skin looks fine, and I could probably go in and powder this and it would be fine, which I appreciate. I don't mind touching up my makeup as long as it is touch-upable. I just made that up, but you know what I mean. If I'm able to touch it up, then that works for me, because I don't expect it to hold up to my skin type. And this was without powder, so we didn't do a primer and we didn't do a powder, and I think both sides of my face actually fared the same. So on the side where we had moisturizer and the side that we didn't, it still held up pretty well. So yeah, there you go, guys. That is my final check-in, and now we'll go ahead and wrap up with my final thoughts. Alright guys, so now that you have seen the swatches, you've seen the product in action, you have heard me give you all the details of this product, let's go ahead and talk about how I feel. Alright, first things first, the price point. $38 is, yeah, I think it's a little bit pricey. It's even more expensive than the Lock It foundation in the line, but it is in line with like mid to high-end foundations, so it's here or there. but it's still a high price point and you're not getting a ton of product. So it's not like it equates or balances out with the amount of product you're getting, especially if you go ahead and pick up a couple of shades, because I picked up 2 shades and that already is $80+ after taxes. So it's like, ooh, ouch. So if you can get this on a sale, which I know KVD Beauty does sales all the time, and Sephora is doing their sale. Their sale is coming up in April, so you may be able to get this at a better price point, because at $38, I think that is a steep price to pay for this kind of product. But if you're interested, it's a full coverage foundation. A little goes a long way. So you're gonna get a lot of use out of it. So it's not necessarily that you're gonna move through this foundation so quickly that, you know, you need to repurchase it over and over again. But the price point still a little steep. I already spoke about the package and I absolutely love this, and I love that they were innovative in making this completely recyclable, and I love the direction that they're taking, and I think it's simple and sleek. So that's all I have to say about the packaging. As for purchasing, you're able to pick this up on the KVD Beauty website. It is also available at Ulta and Sephora now. It was only available at Ulta for a little bit of time. They had some exclusivity with it for a few weeks, but now it is available at Sephora, and like I said, the sale is coming up for Sephora. But Ulta also has sales from time to time. I haven't seen one in a while, but they do sales every now and then. Plus you can get points for dollars off at Ulta, so if you already have points, you may be able to get this for a better price point. And now let's talk about the product and the performance. You guys saw the application, flawless. I love how this foundation applies. It's very lightweight, it's very creamy, it spreads easily but when I say like butter, I mean like butter. Like, it just glides, and I'm like, what? The first time I put it on, I was like, oh, who talk to me, baby? And I thought it was the brush. I'm like, the brush is really soft. Maybe no. Your finger will have this gliding and just melting into the skin. It really is a foundation bomb. I think they hit it out the park with the formulation. It's so stunning. Oh my god. All right, so the coverage, beautiful. Again, I think it's a medium buildable to full coverage, like full coverage in a single swipe. Like, you don't need a lot of product to get that full coverage. Like, I have a breakout mark here. Can you see it? No, you can't. I have dark marks here. Can you see it? No, you can't. Look around my mouth. Oh! And usually with full coverage foundations, they feel heavy, they feel thick, they feel like they're sucking your skin in. This literally feels like nothing on my skin. I mean, over time, as the oils are coming through, it feels a little bit more makeup-y, but I feel nothing when it's freshly applied, and even a couple of hours in, it feels so heavenly on the skin. So it says here, it minimizes the appearance of pores and gives skin a smooth, healthy look. Let me tell you right now, yes, absolutely. My skin looks so flawless and porcelain. It's just, woo! But in natural daylight, when you go outside, it may not look that beautiful, okay? The sun hits me and I'm like, ooh, texture, ooh, a little bit of pore action. But it still looked nice. It still looked good. And I think if I had powdered it down, because I have oily skin, if I had set those areas down with powder, we would have been fine, and I've actually done that. So I've worn it a couple of days now to test it out. So I've tried it with powder and it looks beautiful. Not too much powder though, because it can start looking heavy, and only in your oily spots. You do not need to set this really in your normal areas or if you have dry skin. But the one drawback I will say about this foundation is that it transfers. The transfer is crazy, and I think it's a trade-off because it's so buttery and silky. So you're gonna get a ton of transfer, and that's exactly what happened. My foundation was transferring left and right. I had it on my fingers, I have it on the light switches, like everywhere I went, foundation was going everywhere, and I'm like, how is it on my hands? Like, am I touching my face and not realizing that I'm touching my face? What is going on? But the slightest touch, it's on your hands, it goes everywhere. So if you're wearing a mask, it's gonna transfer. So just be mindful of that. It transfers like crazy. That is something that, even though I deal with that with other foundations, this one for some reason is just so evident, you know, like it's just everywhere. So I know it transfers a lot more than other foundations that I'm used to. So that is the one drawback. And for the finish, I think it gives a beautiful matte finish. Again, you don't even need to set it with powder. Right now, I didn't even set this with powder, and it looks beautiful. But if I was going out, I would set this with powder. One, to help with the transfer, but two, to help stop the oiliness that comes through. Because this is a foundation balm, it is a little bit more emollient, and so it will slip around on my skin. And then looking at the ingredients, we have some different fruit extracts. We have silica dimethicone, so this is a silicone heavy formula, hence why it's so smooth. It also has safflower seed oil, which is an interesting ingredient, ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. There are a couple of alcohols there which will help with the spreadability of the formulation, also help probably with the dry down, but it is not like a drying alcohol. It also has hyaluronic acid lower down in the formulation, citric acid, ascorbic acid, and a few other ingredients like glycerin and sodium lactate. So you have quite a few ingredients in here that are interesting to see. A lot of them are emollient and will help with spreadability of the formula. So this seems to be a very hydrating foundation, so it offsets any alcohol that is in the formulation to help with the spreading. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Now I do have to be careful again with the transfer and then also with setting it down, and I would go ahead and prep my my pore area just a little bit, just to make sure that I don't leave anything up to chance of my pores popping through. But yeah, absolutely highly recommend. I think it's fantastic. I think it's better on a sale because $38 is a lot. You ain't getting a ton of product, but I think, ooh baby, the way it looks on the skin, butter. Love it, love it. And you don't need a lot. Just don't use a lot. Use very little and spread it, and it will look better in person and also in natural daylight. That is what I found from testing it out. So just use a little bit. Don't cake this on. You don't need to, okay? You don't need to. It spreads and covers. It is wonderful. A+, love it. Let me find out, Kat Von D. I keep calling it Kat Von D. Let me find out. Cara Veritas Decora is out here, okay? Coming back for her throne. She is trying to reclaim some spot in our hearts, and I think with this product, it's low-key, it's no high-key, a hit. And I think they're gonna have a really great seller with this one, and I think a lot of people are gonna love it. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you try it out. I'm gonna leave the product information down below with the timestamps and also with links on where you can pick this up at Ulta, Sephora, and the KVD website. So if you want to go ahead and shop through my links, I would truly appreciate it because they are affiliate links, which means I will get a small kickback if you make a purchase through those links. I will also leave links to my Instagram and Twitter, or you can follow me along. And until my next video, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you actually try this out because it's bomb. Definitely try it out. Anyway, until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye guys.